This is a pre-show. Hope you enjoy this. I'm Jay Skinner. This is Buyers and Sellers, PDT Associates, live every Friday morning at 10:35. Welcome. I'm Jay Skinner. Just a little bit of music before we get started. The topic today is creative improvisation without communication. What causes proven work processes to stop working? A lot of people here, and I appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Would like to know, do you recognize this chord progression? Name that tune. Day by day. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm Jay Skinner. This is Buyers and Sellers, PDT Associates. Our weekly Go Live program starts at 10:35 every Friday, and I want to welcome you and thank you for coming. I don't mention this very often because I don't want to be like the salesman guy or something. So, but I want you to know if you're watching this and you think it's something great, please feel free to share it. You were probably personally invited to this program through one of my promotions or something. And I want you to know that you're welcome and encouraged to share this. And you could be on Twitter or YouTube or through a link through LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever the platform is. Anything you can do to promote it will be very much appreciated. So with that being said, I also want you to know as comments come up and people say hi, I want to say hi back to you. And oh, hey there. Hi, Eli. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the show this morning. And Kevin, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much. Okay. And Eli, I think it's time to finally break out the tune Summertime. You know, I think you're right. I'll take that request right now. Just a couple bars of it. Summertime, summertime, oh dear Lord. Oh, I keep playing Day by Day. Now, how does that work? See, that's going to play directly into the reason for today's show. And hi, Deirdre. Good. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you made it. So when we talked about creative improvisation without communication, right then, Eli said, hey, how about some summertime? There you go. Summertime. The fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. There you go. That works. little creative improvisation. There's some communication. The first time I went to it, I was kind of mixing summertime and day by day. That didn't quite work. Sometimes there's some songs that work together. Well, the work process in the workplace isn't much different than that either. And I want to say thanks, Kevin Gershwin, 1935, summertime. You're right. And yeah, happy Friday. By the way, those of you that are new to the show, as I'm looking around, I got a screen here and a screen here and a screen there and one here and a keyboard. And so I'm doing a lot when it comes to producing the show. So that's what you see looking around. And I got a cup of coffee right here. So when we talk about, it was almost like a Jeopardy question, creative improvisation without communication. That was the answer. And the question was, what causes proven work processes to stop working? So processes, methods, standards with your organization that are simple, duplicatable, and teachable are the dream of every business developer. I mean, think about Dairy Queen. I like that one. That's always a good duplication example. And my people that I work with will hear me say very often, a dilly bar in Indianapolis tastes the same as a dilly bar in Louisville, Kansas City, Los Angeles, or in some airport somewhere, because of the duplicatableness, the replication that goes on. They find a recipe that works and they keep the flavor and the taste and the product delivery and everything about it the same. That spells success. So what is it when you're moving along, adding staff, developing programs and processes, and you look around and what you established is working and then it stops working? What happened? That's what we're going to talk about here in a minute. I just want you to know you're a buyers and sellers show. We're 30 minutes up and down or less. So hang on, buckle up. Here we go. In the area of creative improvisation minus communication, what is an example of that in the workplace? I think probably one of the best examples is one-off conversations and process changes between key team members. And by the way, if you're watching and you can comment and have some comments here, please type in. I'm very interested to get your thoughts about this. And if you have a very specific example in your own life or something that you've seen, if you can type it in a few words here, please share. This problem that I'm talking about, it starts something like this. It's like one guy says to him, "Hey, John, how can we fix this for us so it goes smoother?" And they work together. It's two key team members, might be in different departments or something, to work on some sort of a problem that happens. But John is one of 5 Johns and Sallys that are working in his particular area on similar things. And his friend Frank that's helping him fix this is one of 2 or 3 other people that help as part of the overall process. It's been established within the company to do your product delivery system, for instance. And so with the best intentions ever, those 2 fix it, whatever it is, for themselves. Well, then they implement the idea and it's going great, but the rest of the team doesn't really know about this fix or this change in process. And it could be the best thing ever. And there was absolutely nothing but good intentions throughout. However, and I guess got to give it a however there, is the analysis of downstream potential problems needs to be addressed as well. And I'm going to click on that one right there here so you can see it. Boom. Good intentions. They can create downstream problems. It's like people, what do I do? It's like no one did anything bad and everyone was trying to help and make things better. It's like people don't have bad intentions. However, if the entire process isn't considered from beginning to end, a particularly good situation right here that you're trying to fix something that happened to you without proper communication with the team and with whoever is managing the entire process throughout, and to say, okay, you're fixing this, and that's great. Well, let's just think for a minute what the implications are downstream. And if it looks like I see how it's fixing that, that's brilliant. And then downstream, the changes that you made up here, as the dominoes fall in your process you've put together, does it all work beautifully? Or do we have to adjust something downstream as well to help accommodate what's being fixed up here? The coordination is huge. It's like your left hand and your right hand when you're playing a song. So let me give you an example. Now, that's a nice song. Or it could be the beginning of Swingin' Shepherd Blues. Okay. But let's say I got that going here, but somebody extremely creative says they're not even realizing that this is happening over here because it's 16 processes down the road, and they want to do something like this. Little dissonant, isn't it? But alone, proper accompaniment. That right hand is nice. Without proper coordination, it's dissonant and it doesn't work. And what's really weird is a lot of times this will be going, and it sounds great. And then someone has a little, maybe even a one-off problem. And they say, well, I got to fix that. And it sounds good to get started. But the improvisation over here in the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. How many times have we heard that? The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. And that leads me to the other part of how all this goes. And that's about the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. And then we start solving problems that are essentially one-off problems. You all know, and I'm going to bring up a thing here. Ron, thank you. Ron's got a note here. Good morning. Paul Akers wrote a great book about 2-second lean meetings with the team. I love the idea. That's the kind of communication we need. I remember when I was at Stratus, and we do this right now over at HOA Fence, and with some of my other clients over the years, we'll say, let's have a stand-up meeting. And it's just like one particular thing, people from multiple disciplines within the organization, and anybody can call it. And they say, I got this great idea. I got this problem. I'm trying to fix this or that. I'm thinking about doing this. What do you guys think? It's all it takes. Get some coordination. And then it's like, then no one's going to be going, oh, what did I do? You know, what did I do? Now, I don't know if that's ever happened to you or not. I run into it. That's why I thought, well, it'd be worth having this conversation. And this one right here, number 3, solving problems that don't yet exist. You heard a lot of things like, don't let the tail wag the dog and things like that. When someone's got a problem, in their process or what they're doing, looking for a solution. A lot of times the first inclination is go find the other people in the team that can help you solve your problem. But what we do is we forget there's other people involved, and it's part of an overall big process that was put into place, maybe before you, maybe during you, or maybe it's in the process of being built. But the big communication with the group is required to make sure that if you fix something over here, because of the domino effect, it doesn't go off the rails down there by accident without realizing that there's an effect there. The other thing is, and that has to do with fixing problems. All these sayings, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I guess I like those kinds of sayings. Think about that when you're addressing problems. Are you experiencing a problem, or is your organization experiencing a particular problem like once every now and then? Is it really worth changing the big process or what you do to fix that one? It may be a big problem, but it doesn't happen very often. Is it worth changing everything over that? Or maybe you make when that pops up, we're just going to take it completely off the track and fix it. Do an entirely different thing, address it. It's going to happen once a month. But rather than changing everything else that generally works for the entire organization in terms of our process and processing, we're going to just go ahead and pull that off and not change everything to satisfy that one-off type situation. So like I said, I've said before here, we don't have to take 30 minutes just because I've allocated that amount of time. If anybody has any comments, they want to talk about something as it relates to that. Oh, look, I just noticed here, I've been showing the pre-show banner. I'll take that off right there. Got to watch that the whole time. Anyway, just to review, you're part of the creative problem-solving team in your organization. I'm going to trust that whatever it is you do, you're there to help make it better, and that's why you're there. So when things come up and you guys have established plans and processes and you're driving towards standardization within your company for your product delivery system, or think about it as you begin to be creative within your space. Is this creativity something that might have a potential impact downstream or get away from the standardization that you're trying to create? If so, doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It just means pull some of the people in your group together and say, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Does it make sense for this change to occur? Or that I should do a test and see how this works to solve this sort of a problem, with the idea that we might roll it out to the entire group, something like that. And someone's going to say, yeah, let's do that. Let's try that. Let's do a beta test, and you test it and get back to us in a week and let's assess it and see if it's something we want to roll out. On the other hand, someone say, well, I get it. Sounds beautiful. However, down the road here, if you do this, here's what it's going to negatively affect down here. And let's don't do that right now. Let's don't even test it. I want to see things get settled down where they are, but would you mind writing that down for later? Maybe that's it. So I'll make sure the right hand knows what the left hand is doing. So if I get started, it sounds right. Uh-oh. More dissonance. The right hand's not playing what the left hand's playing, at least not the same song. However, let's get it together. I'm Jay Skinner. This is Buyers and Sellers. Hey, we got it working. I want to thank you for coming. Just communicate. We'll see you next Friday, 10:35. 2, 3, 4. Thanks for coming. See you next week.